Oh, greetings, one and all.
Greetings.
Can I just start this week by showing you something?
Oh, good Lord.
I want to reveal myself to you.
Good heavens.
I want to show you this album. Now, those of you that's just listening on Spotify, you'll not be able to see this. So this gives you a good excuse to go to YouTube. I bought this recently.
Why are you there? Like and subscribe.
Ring that bell.
Ring that bell. Describe for
I'm about to.
for our hearing audience.
This is an album by Rod Stewart, released in 1974.
A vinyl album.
A 50-year-old, this album is. Released in 1974, and is looking somewhat like a reject cast member from
The Labyrinth.
We can see where David Bowie got it from. I mean, there's the inside sleeve. Look at that. Come on, Rod. You've got it all going on there, but did you have to be so pirate-like? Oh, yes. Beautiful. But the story about this is...
Can I just have a look at that? Thank you.
Sorry?
Can I just have a look at that?
You can. The story about this is, back in the day, when I was a young gentleman, a friend of mine bought this. I bought Sing It Again, Love, which was released in 73, and I bought that later. But a friend of mine bought this. I was so comfortable, yeah.
I know.
And I was taken with this album. I thought, oh, yeah, well, we all know this album. It's a great album, and it's got all the classic hits on it.
Stay with us, audience, if you're new here. It does get better.
Come on, thank you. But it's only recently why I've realised why I did like this album. The album's all right, but it's the cover that I really do like, because it's a gatefold, and in the centre there's a very large picture of all these different people. It's all the people that were contributing to the making of this album. All the faces are there, apart from Ronnie Lane. He had a bit of a thing about Rod Stewart. Not that sort of thing, he just got a bit miffed that he was getting all the attention. But all these people are on this album. There's Ronnie Wood and his parents, there's Rod Stewart and his parents and his Uncle Bob, I think it's his Uncle Bob. There's Mick Waller, the drummer. There's Kenny Jones, the drummer, and his girlfriend of the day.
And a dog.
Mick Waller's dog. There's Ronnie Wood's driver. There's all sorts of different people on there, and they're all mentioned on the other sleeve that Louis had, and it gives you a description of who they are. And one of the very funny pictures is this chap here. It's Ronnie Wood's dad. And Ronnie Wood's dad, if you put hair on Ronnie Wood's dad, it would look like Keith Richards. But he's a bald fella. But if you put hair on Ronnie Wood's dad, it's Keith Richards. It looks great. And I really like this picture, and I've always liked this picture. And it's only because I've got older now, I've realised why I liked it.
Why do you like it?
Because I can connect to it.
Go on.
As a 15-year-old, it was a good picture, and I really enjoyed it, because all my favourite people are on... Well, some of my favourite people are on there.
Right.
They're stood in a pub with
Right.
a pint in their hand, with the mum and dads. I can connect to it.
Oh, okay.
They're real people. They're not on a stage
yeah.
with lights, and it's not this
Right.
fantasy figure that's up there on a stage.
You're seeing a bit of a behind the curtain sort of
Yeah,
image.
I've had a glimpse into the real world. And it's still
Because
rock and roll.
I guess at the time,
But we like it.
I like it.
if you were a child,
A child.
you'd be looking at Rod Stewart's attire, like, wow, showbiz.
Yeah.
But now you're looking at it thinking, oh, that's interesting. That's a strong look. And some of his relatives may be thinking, well, Rod, that's a strong look.
You see, the other thing about this as well, and I think this is a very British thing, Rod's sort of semi-squatting down here, but he's got a pint in his hand.
Lad.
Yeah, a pint pot. Now, usually you'll see a rock star with a short in
bottle
his
of
hand
vodka.
or a glass of wine, but I've seen lots of photos with Rod with a pint in his hand. And several other members of the band. I mean, Ronnie Wood's got I think it's a half glass. Very girly. But
Which is fine.
There's not wrong with that, of course.
I've seen several pictures of Rod with a pint in his hand.
Okay.
And I can relate to that because that's where my sort of world in that sort of time.
What sort of pint do you think Rod Stewart would like?
Well, we're drinking
If you were to take him to the pub right now, and you were like,
he would drink
yeah,
he would drink that
no,
southern stuff though, which is not very good.
If you were to take Rod Stewart to the pub now, and anything on tap that you like, what pint of beer would you buy Rod Stewart?
Oh, I think I might buy him Chantry's The Beer Inspector. I think I might do that. I think I'll buy him an IPA.
This is the plug episode, I think. Buy this album and this beer.
Yeah.
No,
like Rod.
I think I'd start with a beer, then we'd have to go on to Rod's, because he does have his own whiskey, doesn't he?
What do you think Rod would have as an accompaniment, like a packet of crisps? What crisps would Rod like?
I think he's a nut man.
A hot what?
He's a nut man. I think he's a salted peanut man.
A salted peanut man.
Well, I think he's honey roasted.
I don't know.
Honey roasted?
I think he'd go for honey roasted.
I reckon he'd go a bit like crazy. He'd go for a packet of Twiglets and not tease them.
Or
just for the look.
If there hasn't any honey roasted nuts there, I think he'd go for what's them little round cheesy things?
Cheesy balls?
No, them biscuity efforts.
Biscuity efforts?
Oh, mini cheddars.
Mini cheddars.
Or would he like keep it old school and just have like some really dirty, hairy pot scratchings? He'd be like, singing Gasoline Alley with his packet of pot scratchings.
Nice. Yeah. But going back to this, there's Rod's dad there and his Uncle Bob, and they've got tartan scarves on. There's chauffeurs there, there's Ronnie Wood's driver, there's people's minders, some strange bloke ticking his head around the corner. And it only struck me recently. It only struck me recently that the reason I connected with this picture because it makes them real.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it does.
It makes them real people. Well, that's over with. You can carry on now.
Welcome to the show.
Listen, Land.
Listen, Land. Mozart. From Rod Stewart to Mozart. Did you know that Mozart had a sense of humour, and he was known for his sense of humour?
No, I didn't. 'Cause I haven't. Strangely enough, I've never ever bumped into him.
Well, if you did, you'd have a giggle.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
I'll look forward to that.
So Mozart, the classical composer, was known for his sense of
Is it
humour.
Mozart or Mozart?
M-O-Z. So I'm going to say
Mozart.
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 You're not in America.
It was known for his sense of humour. He wrote a song called Leck mich im Erschk.
German.
I don't know. But translated to English is Kiss My Arse.
I like it.
So Mozart has got a song called Kiss My Arse.
Yeah, I like that.
How good's that?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? And especially in the pompous classical world.
Yeah,
that would strike a note.
very, very punk.
I like that. It's good. And just in case this is a Christmas edition, because we don't know when it's coming out.
Not Christmas.
And we don't know when it is. Well, it might be. It might be tomorrow Christmas. Could well be. The Christmas Queen, Mariah Carey.
All right.
She is celebrating 30 years of a Merry
Cashing in.
Christmas track. So guess what she's doing?
What's she doing?
She's doing a Christmas tour.
Oh. Whistling balls and tinsel.
You know,
Well, when I saw that, it got me thinking.
Buy a ticket.
So, all right, she did that Merry Christmas. And then I don't know what else.
she's not. There was no.
I was trying to think of
yeah.
any name.
No.
What's the name of a single then that she's done apart from Merry Christmas?
There's loads.
She did that one that
She
went
did what?
da 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 da.
Oh,
She did that one. That other one. She was famous for that other one.
Really?
Yeah, no,
I
there's
forgot-
loads,
oh,
there's loads.
I forgot about
I just
that.
can't remember.
No,
Yeah, there's loads.
precisely. And I couldn't. I will
No, it's funny that you can't, can you?
I have no idea what else she's done.
You would if you heard it. We can't deny that she's got a big career. But my partner Stacey has seen Mariah Carey. One of her ex-relationships was a trying music journalist, and they were given tickets to see Mariah Carey. And it was in like the summertime, and she played the Christmas song.
Yeah?
Yeah, in summer.
No.
Apparently she was all right, but a bit weird.
Yeah. No, I'm not having that.
He's not having that.
I ain't got time for that.
I ain't got time for that. No.
Yeah, he's not got time for that. No. So, what has she done?
She's done loads of stuff.
Yeah, but you can't remember it,
I
can you?
can't
what?
because it's not my genre.
No, I know. Is that what we're having a problem with?
No. Do you know that CD players, portable CD players, are
Sorry.
all right? Let's go back.
Change it.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
Change it.
No, don't get the phone out. Name me another Mariah Carey song.
No, change your tack quicker than an Olympic.
No.
Dingy man.
Nobody knows names of songs that
Right.
she's done apart from that Merry Christmas.
We belong together. Fantasy. I know what you want.
Oh,
Always be my baby.
of course.
These are like the 90s ones as well.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
What?
Album Daydream
Never
from
heard of
1995. Oh, tell you what. Anyway,
It's just an hour and a half of that
At a high C note.
on repeat.
portable CD players are back, but
They're
with
real?
a difference. They are wireless, so they connect to Bluetooth headphones.
All
Right.
right. Yeah.
But why?
People
Like,
like
what-
that stuff. Now that's like an hybrid, isn't it? That's like it's old school meets new school.
But portable CD players were problematic. They're more problematic than
Yeah.
Walkmans, cassette
Yeah.
Walkmans, because you couldn't run for a bus or
Maybe
something
they
because it'd
maybe
skip.
they got around that.
How?
I don't know. I'm not a
Maybe they have got
technician.
around it, but I find it very unlikely.
It's like old school meets new school. They want that sort of mobility. They want that. Don't forget who's fitting this out.
I don't know, but like
It'd be Sony.
There's
or
a
something
di-
like
I
that,
get-
They
wouldn't it?
invented Walkman.
I
Yeah,
get
that's
that.
what I'm saying. It'd be something like Sony.
I get that there's a different compression compared to MP3 of what you stream, so you're getting a richer sound, let's say. But if you're walking around with a CD Walkman, you're a bit of an arsehole.
Does that mean in about another 3 to 5 years we're all going to be walking around with big bass box on the shoulder again?
The question is, why would you when you've got Spotify?
Yeah.
You're an arsehole. That's why.
No, I don't think it's meant
you want to
for
be a
that.
guy with a little with a cap that's not bent, very short cap, a little weak like a coffee stained mustache, glasses just for the look, a workman jacket, but you don't work.
It's got it all worked out, hasn't it?
Shuffle
Yeah,
shoes, and you got like a little
A shuffle
CD
shoe? Oh,
It's
what's a shuffle
I
shoe?
don't know, Vans.
And look at me, I've got a Walkman,
and you got your
Cordless.
CD thing, and so
a Boss T-shirt.
yeah, disgusting. Just hipsters.
No, I think you're being a bit harsh there.
No,
I think
not
you-
hard enough.
No, I think you're going really hard on the old.
The CD Walkman crowd.
Yeah.
If you're buying a CD Walkman or a cassette Walkman, you need to have a good hard look at yourself and
Change your game.
take a long walk off a short pier.
I don't know. It's these things come and go, don't they? And will it have any legs? No, I don't think it will, because people have got far easier ways of going jogging or walking, and they've got the phone. They don't want to strap another piece of equipment to them, do they?
It's like, I'm going to nip into town. All right, you're taking car. No, I'm going to take the horse.
When Sony fetched out
Why are you
Walkman,
taking the horse?
there was nothing else, so it had to be that.
Yeah, it was new.
Yeah.
So over the last couple of weeks, as I've mentioned on it before, I've been looking on eBay at albums. Various albums, what I'm interested in and what I'd like to get back, or one thing or another. And I noticed a couple of weeks ago that there is Led Zeppelin's albums, and some have. I didn't notice it at first. What I noticed is the price. So let's say, for example, Led Zeppelin 1. Some were going for between like £80 and £120 an album. But some of them were going for like 1,700, 1,600. Well, that's what I thought. I thought, why? What is the difference between that Led Zepp one and that Led Zepp one? And what it is when I looked into it, it's what colour Led Zeppelin wrote in.
Oh,
If
like
it's
a rare misprint.
If it's wrote Led Zeppelin across top in orange, it's worth £80, £100. If it's wrote in turquoise, then it's out from 1,200 to 1,700 to. I think I think the cheapest one, and there was still something like 5 or 6, 7 days left to bid it on it, and I think it were up to something like 1,200 quid. The dearest one I've seen go is 2,200, and it's because it had turquoise writing on the front cover.
Wow.
So when I looked into it, apparently the turquoise is the holy grail of Led Zeppelin.
Why?
It's because it came out in turquoise originally.
Yeah.
And then after so long, I think it was something like, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was something like 3 hours or whatever it might have been. The record company said, no, wait a minute. We don't like that. We don't like that turquoise. Sorry. It doesn't stand out enough. You can't see the name on the cover. It's too. We need something that stands out more. Let's pull them all off. Let's call them all back and change it to orange.
Right.
So that's what they did. But obviously, in that time period of it being released and pulling back, people have sold it. But I mean, I don't know how many got sold.
How many were sold?
Well, they don't know, or they hadn't stated it.
It's a smaller
since.
number, yeah.
But if you're one of them people that's got the album Led Zeppelin 1 with the turquoise writing on it that says Led Zeppelin in turquoise,
You've got yourself a bit of wonga.
you've got yourself, well, like I said, between 1,200 and $2,000.
And if you've gotten out there and you've heard this from us, like and subscribe, because we've just made you some wonga, some dollar bills, y'all.
Yes. And I'll also tell you another one as well. If you got the first album by Beautiful South, which was called Welcome, on the front cover of that one, there's 2 boxes. And in the as you look at the cover, I think I'm going to get this right way around. On the left-hand box, you've got a bloke with a gun in his mouth. And on the right-hand box, you've got a woman smoking a joint. And that came out. And that were about, say again, 2 or 3 hours. And government said, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't have that. You need to recall them. So record company recalled them all in. And they got them now. Where if you buy it now, you either get 2 teddy bears, one with a pink bow, one with a blue bow, or you get a Christmas box, one with a pink bow, one with a blue bow.
Oh.
So I would imagine if you've got an album with the original man and woman on the front cover, that might be worth something. And
They're all worth something.
I have.
You have?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
I
right.
bought every Beautiful South album within first 15 minutes at shop opening. I was
So
there knocking
you've
on
got
the-
some of the...
I've got the one with him blowing his head off and
really?
smoking dope. Yeah.
How much are
And that's
they?
worth
I
what?
don't know. I've never had it valued.
Some say
I wouldn't know.
£15.
Some say 15.
Some
I'll go as much as 18.
I've seen them go for 15.75.
Shut up.
Some are offering a large fish and chips.
Just
for
plain.
So yeah, the Led Zeppelin one, if you've got it in turquoise, have a look because you've got yourself between 1,200 and £2,000.
It's funny,
Sterling.
it's funny, isn't it? Because we've got ours out at Loft, and there's still a box up there somewhere because we've got some missing. But there's an original. The week it came out, Dark Side of the Moon.
The week.
Sorry,
The week it came out.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a week. I think it was a week it came out. No. Wait a minute. I could be wrong. It was my good lady. She bought it, and she bought it after seeing them at Nebworth, and it was the same week that she saw them at Nebworth.
She's got a lot of pristine stuff.
Mint condition.
Mint.
Some would say mint.
The kids are saying mint.
Mint. It's the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Double mint.
She
Double
always
choc
looked
chip.
after them. She always looked after
Never
them.
played them.
No, but she did.
Status Quo.
Were
Burt Bacharach.
Berg Bacharach. Well,
Daniel O'Donnell.
no. Oh, well, back in the old days, they were just called Daniel.
They were called Danger Bomb.
No, there's a lot of stuff on there. So you got the Aqualung. What they call them?
Is that Ron Burgundy?
No. Aqualung! Oh, it's just gone out of my head.
I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of the ginger fellow with the flute.
Correct.
You're thinking of. I had a story about him and
Yeah,
David Bowie.
it's just gone out of my head.
They won
People
the
are
metal.
screaming it.
They won the metal album. They beat Metallica.
They did, yes.
Oh,
Anyway, them.
what's a chuffing name?
What a chuffing name. Oh, we're going to have to sort this because I can't live without finding out who that is.
So I have a story for you while you're looking for that.
Okay, go on.
So the story is the lead singer of that band was producing an album for another band, right? And it needed a saxophone player. And this guy, what his name is, he got the contact details for Dave Bowie. Now this is like the mid-70s, right? And it's in America, and he got the contact details for Dave Bowie because Dave Bowie played saxophone. He never met Dave Bowie before, and he contacts me and said, "Look, we've got this album. It needs a saxophone piece. Would you mind? Because you're just around the corner, like coming over and laying down a piece for us." He went, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And he was like thinking, "Crap, okay, we're gonna he's gonna probably charge us about $2,500 for this." But in it, risk
Which
it
was a lot of money.
Risk it for the biscuit,
Yeah.
And Dave Bowie's already got a bit of an established name. He's breaking America at the time. Dave Bowie rocks up. Nice guy, lays down this saxophone bit, which
it is a good bit.
which
is, yeah,
was
good,
also
that, yeah.
used
Sounded
for
like
the children's TV show where they're on the moon. There's mice on the moon.
Oh,
Clangers.
Clangers, yeah. All right, okay, yeah.
How's it go?
Enough already.
And he does that, and it doesn't require any payment. He doesn't accept anything, and he disappears. And he says, the guy from the lead singer from the band who was producing this album said that was a great lesson to him, as in, if you don't ask, you don't get. And also, since then, he said he respects people who it's about the art of it, and it's not about making a quick buck. And he says since then, if he's playing on somebody else's album and he's doing a little bit, he'll never take any money for it.
Yeah, the little bit thing is a good thing to sort of like say, okay, I'll do this as a little bit thing. But it's there's no pleasure in being an impoverished artist.
No, but David Bowie wasn't an impoverished artist
No, he
at
wasn't.
the time.
No, he could afford to do it at some stage. You can only be that graceful when you've established yourself.
Yeah, but I think what it is saying that people aren't always that graceful. And,
No, they're not.
and you're getting
No,
a
they're
name
not.
on this album,
Yeah.
and suddenly it's like, oh, can I
Jethro
afford-
Tull, by the way.
Jethro Tull, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, I had to look it up. But
Jethro
he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why didn't he do that? Because he's a flautist.
Yeah, but Bowie plays sax.
Yeah.
I think it was known in the circuit before it was known in the public, because he loves jazz, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he plays a mean sax. So he just rocked up, played the sax, and popped off.
Thank you very much. You can have that one.
It'd be really awkward if I was like,
Have you got
Bunsen burner, nice little earner.
Who wants me invoice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit hot, yeah.
And it really take the shine off him. Or maybe I'd just suffer from that English awkwardness. Maybe he really could have done with that $2,500. He was like, nah, I'm too awkward. I'm just going to go away now.
It depends how long
No,
the solo.
it'd have took it if you needed it.
Yeah.
No, but can you imagine if you'd walked into a studio? We want something a little bit jazzy. Just fill that little gap. So and it was literally like a minute, 30 seconds. Now you feel, is that it? That's great, that David. Brilliant. Thank you very much. You think 30 seconds. What am I going to do with that? How do I build that?
But his story,
You can have that.
his story
You would,
was
wouldn't
about
you?
the fun of the art.
Yeah.
To take it for the
You'd
fun of
just
the art.
charge them for hour, wouldn't you? So if you're charging them
Well, if you're a
300 quid an hour and
if
it's
you're a
only
rate
30
man,
seconds,
if you're a
200
session
quid,
musician,
tough
you
shit.
would charge him for it, but he wasn't. But he was just doing it as a favour, weren't it? It sounds right.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult one, isn't it? You're doing it for heart, aren't you?
But if you're doing it as a favour, you shouldn't charge them anyway. It's a favour.
But it wasn't stated it was a favour. It was like, would you mind coming down and playing on this? There was no mention of money, but there was no mention of no money. But anyway, I thought it was an interesting story.
There's another story actually similar to this, but it's not that similar. But it's in the case of what were they called? Oh, it might be awkward now because I forgot his bloody name. Roxy Music's guitarist Ray Manzanera. Ray Manzanera, he made the records for Roxy Music, and he did a lot of music, instrumental music of his own. He released quite a few albums of his own. And sat in his house one day, and he gets a phone call. Would you be up for allowing some of your music to be sampled? Okay, yeah. Who wants to sample it? And it was somebody like P. Diddy, it was Kanye West actually.
All right, Kanye.
And he was doing something with one of the big rap stars. Anyway, Jay-Z. He were doing an album with him. Anyway, he says, I don't know anything about it. Yeah, okay, yeah. Which one is it? Oh, right, okay. What are you do with it? Oh, right, okay. Yeah, great. Fair enough. So they did. And what they did, they took 6 seconds of a guitar solo out of a piece of his music and looped it.
Yeah.
Put it on an album by Kanye West and Jay-Z. I don't know what the track were, but the track went absolutely mental. And the album went mental. And he made more money off that 6 seconds than he ever made in a solo career and with his time with Roxy Music.
Wow.
Made a lot of music.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we didn't actually. Made a lot of money.
Well, imagine that. It's weird how. Well, it's an example of culture and technology and how it arcs back and. Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's. Well, they were prepared to pay it. That's the thing.
Well, it's not that they were prepared to pay it. They were prepared to share the profits of it, depending on its success.
Yes. I don't think they. Yeah, you're right. They obviously didn't realise that the album would go so big, and it did. It went massive, apparently.
Yeah.
It's not my field, so I don't know. But it went massive, and because his name was all over that as a contributor to the album, he got paid for it, and he got paid a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
I suppose that happens all the time, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, there'll be more stories like that you don't even know about.
Have you heard, Dido?
Yes, White Flag.
Yeah, the famous thing that she did
with Eminem.
And then Eminem picked it up.
Yeah.
It made him a star, basically.
The song Stan.
Yeah, it basically changed his career, didn't it?
It didn't change his career. He was already big.
It became more mainstream, though, didn't it?
No, it changed her career.
I think
it's all right. It changed their career then. But we didn't
into
know really that much about Marshall Mathers until...
No. It was big before then.
Okay.
Yeah, I promise you.
So that track changed their life.
Yeah.
And you know that voice she's got, that sort of wispy...
Boring.
Come on, love, cheer up.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard the... have you heard the latest release from David Gilmour?
No, I haven't, no.
Well, it's an album...
Is she on that?
No, it's a track, and it's featuring his daughter called Romney. Not
Nepotism.
Rodney, Romney. And she's got the same voice.
Oh.
Yeah.
That very like...
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, at first it's all right. It's quite endearing at first. But it's got this wispy... again, I'm going to cheer up, love. Sort of think, oh, for God's sake, it's all right. The track itself is very... She's got a musical career of her own. She's got things going on, but she's singing on her dad's record. And it's a good track. And then at the end of it, he comes in with a bit of guitar work. Really tasty guitar work.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's quite similar to that, but it's not that. Quite tasty, lovely tone. It's quite unusual tone, and it's a lovely piece of guitar work. But it got me thinking that why has he just not said to her, because it's her singing on it, Romney, put this on your album, and I'll be obviously guitarist in the background, rather than him saying, this is the Dave Gilmour track with Romney singing on it.
Well,
is it
maybe
reverse nepotism?
Maybe we don't know that it's not already on her album.
No.
You know, he might
it's
all
off
be
this
on.
new album that he's been keeping very
No, but
under wraps for ages.
if she's got a music career of her own, the chances are it's in his studio and he's probably playing on it.
No, it's off his new album. It's
No,
been
no, her album.
No, I know. He's kept his latest releases very much under wraps. He's not told anybody what's going off. He's got.
Yeah, I know, but I'm on about her album. You're saying why didn't he just give it playing it? You give her that song and you playing her song, but her album, whatever that is, how he might already be playing on them.
Well, it might be.
That's what I mean.
No, it might be. But my point is, it's because she's got the starring role in this album.
Oh,
this track?
Is it a starring role? Is it?
Why don't she? That's yours? Because it is hers, really. He just does some musical accompaniment to it.
Oh, right.
Perhaps he wrote it.
Yeah, she might have wrote it. Which
No,
makes
he might have wrote it.
He might have wrote
Doesn't really
it.
matter.
And just said to her, "Do you fancy singing me
It
this?"
doesn't really matter.
That's why it's on his album.
No, it don't really matter which way it comes from. But the only thing I can think is because if he gives it to her, if he gives it to her and it goes on her, people might claim, because it's Dave Gilmour playing on it, nepotism. They might say that. But because it's not, and it's Dave Gilmour's track off his forthcoming album, and she's singing on it, but she's doing all the work on it, apart from the last final solo. It just seems a little bit like, why don't you just give it to her?
So does that mean she'll be touring with him then when he tours the album?
She'll have to, because
She might be supporting.
got that whimsy
I was
voice.
just about to say, but isn't that a good thing, because not only will she be singing with him in his bit, but she might be the opening band. She might be the supporting act.
I don't know.
So
about
she'll
that.
support and then just come back on stage to do that one track with him, which is getting her name out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It could be a promotional thing that he's cocked up, or not cocked up as in men a bollock, but cocked up as in, hey, if you sing on this with me, you can come and sing it with me on tour and be supporting act.
Yeah, I just thought, well, we'll just give it to Dido. I'm sorry, Romney.
I want to know something.
Go on then.
Slightly off topic. What do you think about the issue with Tenacious D?
Ooh.
Tenacious D.
Oh, right,
So
yeah.
Jack White's band, not Jack White, Jack Black's band.
Yeah.
They've got a band called Tenacious D.
Yeah.
And after the Donald Trump attempted, let's say, assassination,
Yeah.
they were on tour, and the guitarist made a quip about saying something like, "Oh, next time they should have missed."
Oh, right, okay.
Bad taste, but I think both parties have said something weird like that. But subsequently, Jack Black has cancelled the tour, any forthcoming shows.
It's fell out with his mate.
I don't think so, but they've cancelled the show.
He answered this fell out.
Of the promoters cancelled the show.
But what? No, apparently it's Jack Black
Jack
that
Black.
said, "Yeah, we'll have to cancel now." Thanks,
So-
to you.
Is that he's worried that it's going to affect his film career? Like producers of films saying, like, this is not a good look.
Probably a bit of
Yada
both.
yada. But a lot of people are saying, a lot of people have fallen out of favour with him because he has, what's the word? He has flaked so easily
yeah.
to the cancel culture. It was a joke. It was a bad joke. But people have said worse things. I don't believe that in any terms he would have actually wanted him to be shot. His friend.
I always got him as being completely opposite to that.
What do you mean?
It was like rubbing against establishment and rubbing against the norm. I always got him as
Yeah,
being
so
that.
this is what everyone's been a bit confused about, because he flaked so easily and said, "Oh, we're cancelling the shows. We're not no longer going to do this." Blah blah blah. And it's like caved into the capitalist norm.
His film career has been on a bit of a hiatus for the last few years, hasn't it? It did Jumanji.
No, he's done some stuff, but like he's got quite a successful band of which got a high following. It's a cult band, but high following. But from a joke, I mean, it was a bad joke, and he should have said it, his mate. But to cancel the show, maybe just apologise would have been better.
So he's really just thrown their career into.
Well, Jack Black's making it appear that their career's done because he's made this joke, but
He's not standing by his mate, then, is he?
well, no, I mean, not
only that. I mean, he's a very, very wealthy person.
he doesn't have to
He
stand
does
by
a
his
lot.
mate.
He does films. He does gigs, and I don't know his mate, so I'm tipping that his mate is like his mate.
His mate is a guitarist in the band. There's two members of the
Yeah,
band.
no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But he's not an actor,
No, he's just
and he's not a mainstream.
he's recognisable
music
to-
artist.
within the music of the band.
But I don't think he's got the backup
I think they've been friends for a long, long time.
financially wise
Yeah.
that Jack Black's got.
You
So
think
for him to pull out on that, I think he's dropping his mate in shit.
it feels
Because
that way.
them two have been mates for a long, long
Yeah,
time.
they have. Yeah. And he hasn't got a name that he carries.
No.
Because the opposite side of the party are always making comments about that.
What's the are?
It just feels a bit of a sour taste, really.
No, I'm a bit disappointed really because I got him pigeonholed as this like pushing against the establishment all the time because he's quite a rotund type chap and he wears his hair a bit wayward,
bit of a punk humour.
He has his hair a bit wayward and it doesn't like fit the norm. And he goes out and plays guitar and he sings and shouts and he does it in a very extrovert way. And now he's being very conformist. It just sounds a bit wrong.
Yes, it's just a bit strange. Like, you could be like, it was a joke. We apologise. It was in bad taste. Obviously, we don't mean it. Let's carry on. It was out of tone.
Do you think he's had a nudge and a wink from his PR guys or his management saying,
I would imagine so.
look, this is not doing your
Yeah,
film
imagine so,
career any good?
but nor is this like flaky, like submersive.
Yeah, people take that more strongly than
Yes, but
that giving
but
insight.
that's in the
people
music
take that.
side.
You know what I mean? Like,
If he still appears with a film next year with, I don't know, let's say,
The Rock.
yeah,
Jumanji 14.
it'll still sell millions and millions and millions and millions.
But the problem is, it's got a lot of fans who have already bought tickets to see Tenacious D, and they've cancelled the show. And now those fans are like, why? Because of that? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it is stupid. But what I'm saying is, it's probably his management or his PR people said, "Look, you
This
need
is what
to
you need to do. Damage control.
Put a cap on this because we've got
I think
that.
that's it. That's what they're looking at.
We've
Damage
got
control,
that
but
big
it's
film
not
coming out next year. We don't
Yeah.
want to be blowing that.
damage control, but I think
Yeah.
they've got the priorities wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they've shortchanged some people somewhere along the line there.
Yeah.
Do you remember, back in the day, when I was probably 4, totally, completely different on the...
Oh, it's
fine,
way,
it's fine.
it's
Off-
way
off-
back in the day. then.
Way back in the day.
The whip and top was a new thing.
Sorry?
The whip and top was a new thing.
That was a luxury. No, certain records sort of came into the house. It was probably, I would be about 14, maybe, somewhere around there, and 72, 73. And certain records came into the house. I was talking to you about this other week. And in the corner of the single, 2 or 3 particular singles, it had this name, Pat.
Oh, a lot of people called Pat back then, though.
There were.
Pat,
Not
Pat.
this Pat, though. Oh. This was Pat Jackson. No, the very famous Pat Jackson.
The Pat Jackson.
Hello, Pat. No, and what it were,
Like
well, I
and
was talking to you
subscribe,
about my love of funky soul gospel.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's upstairs, and it's and I've still got that now, and it all because of that single "Come Go With Me" by Staple Singers. And I was thinking about it the other week, and I played it for you, and it's just like one of them old tracks that's really, you can't help but just.
Yeah, it's catchy.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And it's solely funky gospel. That's what they did, Staple Singers. She was about 85, about a month ago. And I think she's still going out and playing. But it's that longevity of certain tracks that still have that appeal. Like my sister, Wendy, she's a big fan of Roadrunner.
What, as in the Warner Brothers thing?
No, not the cartoon.
Beep, beep.
Coyote.
Julie Wells on All Stars. She
Okay.
likes that one.
And Dicka Dum Dum.
And Dicka Dum Dum. That's always been a favourite of hers. But I'm more of I like Shotgun. I like Roadrunner, but I like Shotgun. But isn't it funny how certain things, certain records, not only that they stick with you because of your youth, but they still move people now. They still get people's foot tapping now. They still make people want to dance. I mean, James Brown's a prime example.
Yeah.
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 And Junior Wells was very similar because he was a saxophone player. And he was that, it wasn't exactly James Brown, but it were of that funky nature. He were great.
That's actually quite interesting because if you think back to your early records that you bought or songs that you listened to,
Or the famous Pat Jackson who fetched into house.
you'd probably not necessarily play them now, but what you can listen to and hear them is you can hear something in that song which appeals.
Oh, yeah.
And I think maybe that's the key to a hit. If you can get usually a child, if a hit song is if a child likes it because that's a young audience.
Yeah.
If you can get a child to enjoy the song, then it's a hit.
Yeah.
And if an adult can see something in it, then it's a hit.
Well, there's 50% of it nostalgia in there. In this case, there's 50% of it nostalgia. Maybe not 50%, but there's a certain amount of it is nostalgia. But it will not. You could play it in a.
What I'm trying to say is there's a recipe for a great song, and I think a child has an ear to find it without biased. Because I can hear old songs from the OJs, and I'll be like, oh, that's a great tune. Or there's a B.B. King song that's a great tune. And I went alive then, but I can recognise a good tune. Mm-hmm. And then people be like, oh yeah, that was a great song. That's a really good song. You want to start? Yeah, I know that song. Yeah. Like,
well, this is what I'm saying.
There's a magic mix there.
This is what I'm saying because it's partly because of its nostalgia. But it still works today. You could put that track on in any bar or any group of people and just observe the people.
And 90% of them will be.
They'd start going and they might say, what is this? And they'd all be going, get the phone out. What is this?
You want to be in my gang, my gang.
Shazam this one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm a lead. No, it's a funny one though, isn't it? Some songs are still relevant, and they might be 50-year-old.
Songs are like tattoos of the human culture.
Ooh,
on that note,
hold on, it's a bit deep. That I'm still thinking.
Goodbye.
I've thought.